we're talking about the emerging trends, and yeah, last week we sent you guys a report. So today we will send you guys this circular from URA, and this circular is what is going to be the main topic for us for today. Yeah, so what this circular is about. So it is actually about the one second, yeah. Yeah. So it's actually about URA's guidelines on the number of allowable units that can be built per development, and we'll look at how this guideline actually impacts us moving forward in terms of the quantum of our purchases, and for many of us out there, the affordability, and oh yeah, we didn't amend the slide properly. Sorry, we won't be talking about capital gains in the different regions today. That will be covered in another topic next time.
But if you like to learn about that, right, make sure you follow us, because we guarantee you that will be, because we were trying to put that into this session, then we realized if we include that part, right,
It might take a really long
then the
time.
session will be going to become 1 hour long lah. So we're going to parcel that out into another session.
Yeah, so yeah, sorry, we'll amend that. Yeah, so if you are keen to know about that, do drop us a PM and we will send you a reminder when we are talking about that in the upcoming session. Yeah, okay, so what is this URA guideline on the number of units per development? So in 2012, URA actually stated that the minimum average size per unit has to be at least 70 square meters. Before that, there was no such ruling, so a lot of people, a lot of developers started building what we know as shoebox units, and the unit sizes then became really small and not really very comfortable for living. So to prevent that, URA then put in this new rule that for any building plans that has been given approval after 17 Jan 2019, which was last year, they have to meet this increased minimum unit size of 85 square meters. And for 9 specific areas, it is actually even larger. It's 100 square meters. And yeah, all these are due to concerns that houses are getting too small. Some of us are always complaining that the new houses are really small, and the other reason is also because of the infrastructure of the area. It cannot accommodate for so many units. So by increasing the minimum unit size, then you have fewer number of units in a specific area. So while we used to always prefer larger units, but maybe after we explain the impact of this minimum unit size after this session, some of you guys may not be complaining anymore about small units in the future. Yeah. Moving on to Alvin.
Okay, so there are 9 areas, right, whereby that requirement is even stricter, right? So the minimum average unit size, right, that plot has to achieve is 100 square meters, right? And so these 9 areas, right, Marine Parade, Joo Chiat, Mountbatten, Balestier, Telok Kurau, Eunos, Stephen Chancery, Pasir Panjang, Kovan, Hao San, Shelford, Loyang. So these 9 areas, next time you will notice a significant drop in number of small units. Okay, later on in the sharing, we will talk a little bit about how does one make use of this information and make use of this trend, right, to their advantage to make capital appreciation.
Yeah, so then you realize that why these 9 areas have been chosen for the larger than 85 square meters minimum unit size for the 100 square meters minimum unit size is because these areas are already actually pretty crowded. For example, Marine Parade, Telok Kurau, Balestier, Pasir Panjang, and Kovan, they really crowded already. The other reason is because these are landed areas, and the road infrastructure might not be sufficient to cater to so many units. So URA is planning for that in advance, and that's why they are limiting the number of units that we can build in the future.
Yeah, Timothy stays in Eunos. So good lah, Timothy. What size is your current unit? Maybe you would like to share with us. Then we'll tell you whether it benefits you or not. How much it benefits. Actually, definitely benefit you lah, right? Yeah. Ming Long says hot. Yes, really quite hot, right? But later let me share with you, right? Okay. So to better help you guys understand how this change in ruling would affect developments moving forward. Okay, we've picked out these two developments, Sims Urban Oasis and Penrose. Yeah. So Penrose is the upcoming new launch, right? They are both walking distance to Aljunied MRT. So most of you here may have heard about Penrose already. So Penrose is under the new ruling, right? The 85 square meters ruling. Sims Urban Oasis is under the old ruling, 70 square meters. Okay? Okay, so now you see here, right? Follow my arrow. Okay, so Sims Urban Oasis, right? They got their building approval in 2015, right? So the land area is about not land area, the GFA, right? Gross floor area of the development is about 67,000 square meters. So that's actual buildable area. Okay. So this is significantly, right? Not significantly, slightly larger than Penrose, right? About 27.
About 50%
No,
larger.
30% larger. 30% larger, sorry. Yeah, I calculated one. 30% larger than Penrose, right? But the number of units in Sims Urban Oasis is almost double that of Penrose. Okay? But what we want to bring your attention to is actually the 1 bedroom and 2 bedroom units. Okay, you notice Sims Urban Oasis 63% of the units are 1 and 2 bedders. But for Penrose, they could only build 41% of the units to be 1 and 2 bedders. Right, so you're starting to see the trend that we are talking about, right? Lesser and lesser small units, because in Penrose, the developer has to achieve that 85 square meter minimum average unit size.
Versus Sims Urban Oasis, which was the ruling then, 70 square meters average minimum unit size.
So we even broke it down into the sizes of the units. Oh, my apologies. I swapped the two around. Okay, so right, the left side is actually for Penrose and the right side is for Sims Urban Oasis. Okay, sorry, it's opposite, right? So for Sims Urban Oasis, the smallest 1 bedroom is 400 square feet.
Sorry. No, that doesn't work.
Yeah, okay. 400 square feet. The smallest 1 bedroom in Penrose is 474 square feet. Yeah, and you notice the trend in the different number of bedrooms, right? They are all bigger, right? 3 bedrooms smallest for Penrose is 936 square feet, right? So generally all getting bigger. Okay. So and actually the real estate the association for real estate developers did come out to say, right, that this increase in size is going to make it harder for millennials and retirees to afford houses. How so, right? We again put it out into example also to make it easy for everyone to understand, right? So in the past, right, Sims Urban Oasis, I pull out the transaction for the cheapest 1 bedroom in Sims Urban Oasis, right? 409 square feet, $1,392 PSF. That worked out to be $569,000. Okay. The down payment at that point in time, if you remember, was 20% because you could take an 80% loan, right? So one only need to fork out, the buyer of that unit, $114,000 to purchase the unit. Okay, today Penrose, right? We are speculating. Actually, from our briefings, they asked us to expect actually much higher than 1,006 lah, but I'm just putting it for example. Honestly, 1,006 it would be a very very good price for you. But if you can get 1,006, right, 474 square feet, you need to pay about 758,000 for one bedder, right? And because today the down payment is 25%, right, one needs to fork out 190,000 for basically the same product, right? They are both one bedders, right? Albeit 474 square feet being a slightly bigger one bedder. And this is not very far difference. Since Urban Oasis was 2015, Penrose is 2020, so that's just a 5-year difference. You can see one has to save an extra, that's about $75,000 over 5 years to buy the same product, right? So food for thought for everybody. Okay, so then moving forward, right, in the future,
where we expect PSFs to increase, and because this minimum unit size rule is here to stay, let's say the sizes follow that of Penrose sizes, your purchase price of a one bedroom actually increases significantly to about 950k. And if the LTV hopefully remains at 25%, hopefully it doesn't, as in the LTV remains at 75%, your down payment remains at 25%, it doesn't increase further, your down payment increases even more to 237k for a one bedroom. So
yeah, bear in mind 2,000 per square feet is not something that is unheard of. So we already see 2,000 per square feet at certain developments, and these developments aren't even really near the city, right? So like it or not, prices will hit there eventually, right? So why I put that question mark over at the 25% in the future? Anyone want to make a guess why we put in that question mark? Later on, we give you the answer. Okay, so in summary, right, how does that really affect the real estate market? How does this URA ruling really affect every one of us, right? So there's going to be lesser and lesser units under $1 million. Okay, why is this $1 million so important for us? Because $1 million is really a very acceptable budget for most first timers, right? $1 million is also a acceptable budget for a lot of second property owners, right? Those that either pay the ABSD or those that do the decoupling, right? Because we serve quite a fair bit of such buyers ourselves, right? And it's at this juncture, it's already quite hard to find these units. Moving forward, with all the upcoming developments, right, all of which would fall under the new 85 square meter ruling, units under $1 million will be harder and harder to come by, right? You see Penrose, we have less than 60 one bedroom units. Yeah, right. So this $1 million properties are what we classify investment friendly units, your one bedders, one plus study, two bedroom, right? The smaller two bedroom, 2 bed 1 bath, right? The 2 bed 2 bath nowadays you want to buy the brand new from developers.
For investment, it's hard to find
because the quantum is actually already quite big today, right? So most of the developer launches today are still under the 75 square meter ruling, right? And already quite hard to find all those, right, at the affordable budget, right? And as you have seen in the previous slide, right, the down payment required is getting more and more, right? This plays in well also, right, it's an extension of what we were trying to talk about in the last session, whereby the government is using this higher down payment, lower LTV to keep the market sustainable, right? To prevent people from over leveraging, right? Yeah, but of course that also means that one has to save more in order to buy the property. Okay?
Yeah, so for those of y'all who has been following us so far, you know we like to talk about things that are facts and set in stone. So for example, this minimum unit size rule is here to stay. It is not something that is our guess or it's our opinion, because this is what the government has implemented. And so for the opportunities that we find, it is that, you know, if you can find a unit that actually any development that is still currently being sold under the 70 square meter restrictions, it is a good opportunity for you, because in the future your new developments will be under the 85 square meter restrictions, or even better if you can find units in the 100 square meter restrictions moving forward. So focusing on those areas, there will be very few units that are of an affordable quantum for the first timers or for the investors, whereby it's an affordable quantum for your starter home, the small units, or even for the upgraders. Because when all the unit sizes become larger, even for your 3 and 4 bedrooms, it also becomes much larger, and the quantum then become a little bit unachievable. So if you know, it will take some time for the developers to work around these restrictions and to plan how they're going to profit from them. And so we don't expect much to be happening, and this is where you can take opportunity now.
Yeah, so right, for those of you who are savvy, who can catch what we are trying to get at, so units, the developments in this area under the 75 square meter, 70 square meter ruling, right? In the future will be 100 square meters. So with 100 square meters, there will be very, very little investment friendly units.
Yeah.
So most people are scared to have competition in terms of rental after you buy an investment property. So this actually will help these investors a lot if you are looking to buy investment type properties to rent out lah. Very little competition in the future. Tenants also tend to like the newest development in the area. So this is a little tip for those of you who have stayed with us until now, right? Tenants like to rent the newest property on the block, right? So if you're going to be the newest property on the block for the foreseeable future, you will be able to maintain your rental rate lah. Yeah.
Because maybe the new developments upcoming in the future, they may not have your 1 bedroom or 2 bedrooms anymore.
Okay, eBay actually raised a question. Yeah, anyway, that's about it. So eBay very fast. I haven't reached Q&A, raised the question already. But
if you guys have more questions, do throw them out.
Okay, so eBay is asking, curious, why can't they build taller buildings
for more units?
For more units. Okay, so for example, right, in Sims Urban Oasis Penrose area, they are actually still in the vicinity of the Paya Lebar Air Base, right? So areas in Singapore, if you look at the URA master plan, there's still height controls on quite a fair number of areas in Singapore lah, right? But to address your point, we all know the airbase is going to shift away in the future lah. So nobody knows, right, what the government will do in the foreseeable future, right, by raising the height control on those areas. So maybe if they allow everybody to build a lot higher, everybody can they can then again build smaller units. But as of today, right, that is the rule that we have to live with. Units will, like it or not, get bigger. Prices in the end will get higher, right? Already set in stone.
I guess the thing is, they can, if they want, they can increase the plot ratio of a certain land to build taller buildings for more units, but it does not that does not change the fact that the average size is still going to get bigger. I think what we're trying to get across here is that because the average size is going to get bigger, that will then result in a higher quantum and lesser affordability for everyone else.
Okay, we have questions also from Andre and Christopher, right? Really the same question, right? Centered around Penrose. Andre is like, what's your guess for Penrose PSF and quick views on it, right? Christopher, with so many questionable guide pricing floating around, what do you think will be the actual PSF range for Penrose, right? So
I think Penrose is a very hot topic.
Yeah, so we get these questions very very often, right? That's really the most common questions we get nowadays. Right, so actually what we like to ask clients is this. So the developers
Put yourself in the shoes of the developers of Penrose as CDL and Hong Leong. If you were to launch today, how much will you launch at? So for us, we like to keep in mind, what our competitors in the area are selling at. And I guess one very natural competitor for Penrose would be Park Esta. And then you look at the prices that Park Esta has been selling at, and the performance of the development as a whole, it is now close to 95% sold. So their kind of prices is a price that people are willing to accept and willing to pay. So if you were the developer of Penrose, if you're CDL and Hong Leong, would you be cutting yourself short and selling at 1,500 or 1,400 per square feet just simply because you bought the land cheap? I think that is something that everybody is asking. A lot of people think that because my land price is low, I can afford to sell low. But I guess that is what we're trying to get at. Like, realistically, do you think they really will sell you so cheap?
Yep. Another point to note, right? Coming back to our slides, is the unit sizes at Penrose, right? So those of you that are looking to go for Penrose,
Yeah, so remember this slide, there was a little bit of mix-up.
yes, Penrose is the one on the Penrose is the one on the left.
The number of the size and the number of unit type and the size of the unit type on the left side is for Penrose, and on the right side is for same as Urban Oasis, in case you're wondering why the numbers don't seem to tally.
Yeah, so Christopher say yes, correct, right? They will launch at a price that the market is willing to accept. 1,006, 1,007 seems like a more realistic, right? Because we have had inquiries come in that are expecting it at 1,004, 1,005. Honestly, the one we would
they
not.
are saying that some people say it's at 1,004, 1,005, but to be honest, if it's really the case, I think it'll be all snapped up by other by I don't know, agents and everyone else who can get the developer.
Food. So we are not really the in charge for any of these projects, right? But we share with you all some snippets lah, right? Hong Leong and CDL, they are also at a development called Midwood in Hillview. That development is the sales is not doing fantastically well lah. So if I were them I would take the opportunity to make a little bit more from Penrose. So do your planning, right? We will also really recommend, right, everybody to study the performance of Sims Urban Oasis, the unit mix, right? The performance of the different facings, highway facing, road facing, inward facing, right? But yeah, actually we have intention to do a special session just talking about Penrose. So stay tuned, right? Christopher, Andre, right? We will
join us for the next session,
right.
But yeah, we don't know when we'll do that yet because we still have to cover part 3 of this series. So if any of you guys have any more specific questions or you want to discuss more in depth about Penrose, you can get in touch with us and we can have a short discussion together.
Yeah, we are already starting to do the analysis lah. So very in-depth deep analysis like that. We are going down to the nitty-gritty. So join us the next session, a final session of this 3-part series, where we talk about how does one make use of the situation now to their advantage, what to look out for post COVID-19. Okay, so
that would be on the 12th of August.
All right.
Same time, 9 p.m.
9 p.m. Okay. So thanks Christopher, Ibe, Andre, and Janus, right? Chai, all of you who have joined us tonight, right? Till next time. Bye bye.